3, 2. Welcome back to the Runs Podcast, episode number 28. I just went for a pee before we started this. I thought, what number is it? Episode 28. And then I thought, do you know, has there been any good footballers on number 28? I couldn't think of any.
28. Gerrard was 28 at first.
He was on his debut. There we are then. Motion carried.
I was there.
Was you?
Yeah, I went to the game.
I remember seeing it on telly and thinking, why is Julio giving this guy a game just because he got the same name? Like, boy, how wrong can you be?
How wrong? He played right back as well.
Fair play. Ryan George won't enjoy this, but Steven Gerrard could be the best position in any position best player on the park in any position he played.
That he would have been, definitely.
Definitely. Better right back than Gary Neville.
That's without saying.
How's it going? All right?
Yes. Yeah, good. Yeah, busy week since we were last together with Alex. That wasn't that long ago, but loads have gone on in between.
Yeah, definitely. What has been going on? The Olympics is finished. I reckon that's my favourite sporting event of all time in my life.
This whole Olympics?
Yeah.
It was good. It was a really good one. Yeah, the athletics was class when I some of the racing.
Yeah, and then you had the first week was about Biles and Marchand running in the pool and on the gymnastics with other bits sprinkled.
And some of the one of the triathletes and the mixed relays, that was class as well. And the bike, some of the bike racing was good.
Yeah, and cool, and you could pick up the skateboarding or the BMX, which is a bit different. It's something fun to watch as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then
big show started.
The track, that purple track, there's some photos I've seen of some of the races and stuff, and they nailed it with a purple track.
Yeah, I was thinking about it at first. I was like, that's going to look shite, but fair play, it did look amazing. Like some of the night racing with the backdrop, and I was just unreal. It just properly popped out, didn't it? It was pretty cool, different as well. I haven't seen it before, but it looked good.
It was, the girl showed up in track, didn't he?
For UGB?
Just the girls in general, the girls' track was better than the men's track this year.
Yeah, some of the women's racing was unreal. The 100 was good when it was, what's her name winning it from, forgotten her name. Because obviously Dickens pulled out or were injured, and then...
that was weird, wasn't it? And then she beat Richardson, didn't she?
Richardson, that was good. And then, the mix, was it the mix? The mixed relay with Balls come back was insane.
That was bonkers.
She's half a one.
And then that was mad then because Gabi made Ball look like a mere mortal then as well, didn't she?
No, Sydney.
Sydney, that's it.
Yeah, that was probably my favourite and probably what I think's the best performance of it. That was just mental. Obviously, Ball didn't perform, as she said, and she was gutted, but I don't think she would have gone near her anyway because that was just nuts.
No.
To go that quick on the final to break a world record by 0.3 again. And she wasn't happy, she said. She thought she was going to run quicker.
That was mad. She looked so nonsense.
She could do the double, I reckon, and win the 400 flat as well.
You reckon?
Yeah, it would just be because of the amount of heats and things would probably cause the issue. Because obviously they had a bit of a problem with Ball, probably, even though she didn't say that. It probably did.
Yeah. I looked into it, and I think it was, Sydney I was looking into. Because remember we were on about last week when we had Alex on about it not being the most financially rewarding.
Yeah.
And it is, I forgot to say last week when we had it, but then you got, with football and American football and all the other sports, you've got your main contract with your club revenue, and then it's just any bonus, and in it with clothing deals or anything. But she come straight out of university and had a 1.5 million deal with New Balance.
Did she?
So yeah, they're not doing that bad. Top end. I think so, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good then.
Yeah. But then you put that into football in terms, and that's just pocket money on top of your 10 million a year deal, innit?
Yeah, comparison-wise, it's nothing. But I don't know, the top, I wouldn't like to say, the top athletic.
It's mad, innit? By the end of this week, a lot of those people that we watched this week are going back to work,
Yeah, some of them will be. Yeah, well, a lot of the ones in, like you say, not so much athletics, but the lesser sports. We'll see now, the British long jumper, is it, or triple jumper, he had to go straight back to work, didn't he?
He used up all his annual leave.
I think he come fifth. He had to leave and come back to. Yeah, he had to book annual leave. He had to leave to come back to work on the Friday after he finished the competition.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is. Those American girls then in the relay to close it all out. Jesus.
Yeah.
Christ.
What a team that was. That was some.
That wasn't fair.
You said in the group, no, if they don't world record, they want to be slumming the set. But they didn't world record, but they were a hell of a team.
It was wet when it was raining. I let them off. But they were like, when you can't beat people by that much and not break a world record. That's the confusing part, isn't it?
Does happen.
And then we wrapped it up with our favourite, our endurance sports and marathons on the weekend. I missed the men's marathon because I was in park run.
Same, I obviously done long run and park run. So when we finished, we was like, people were on their phones telling us what happened. And like, fourth, Emil, wow, like I was so shocked by that and his time. Not just the coming fourth, the time he done as well was a mental fair play to him.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the girls, that was well. We obviously watched. We had an interest in that more so because we've had boys on from Ponty Road and St Clara was running it as well. But that dust up right to the end was something to behold.
Like, what was it, about 5k to go? We were saying, we were chatting back and forth in the group, like, oh, someone's going to kick. And I was like, oh, well, Beanie got a good kick. It's like, surely Hassan's got to be tired. So I was like, a Sefa. And then, like, the last K was just, it was just more or less sprinting. And then barging.
Yeah. She still had the energy in her to have a dust up, like, and win the dust up.
Like, she'd done 5k and 10k. And then just bronzed both them. And then to have that, like, say, the last 800 to have the fight like that to get over the line for that gold. Don't know how she done it. And an Olympic record.
And well done, Clara, as well. First Brit.
Yeah.
Not bad after showing up out of the blue.
Not bad. Like, weeks' notice. Called up replacement for injured Charles Purdue. And you go and do that, like 46 overall. First Brit. Just some achievement there. Yeah, fair play. Hats off. And you seen that Bull was aired me on his Insta and fair play to them.
Yeah.
Oh, then must have been a great weekend for him and for her. She's now an Olympian. Crazy.
Yeah. What I need is legs like Adam Bull because he was wearing short shorts and he looked good. Nice work, Bull. They were very short shorts.
But they like proper skimpy shorts, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah. So that's the Olympics over. Our quest for the next 4 years now is to make this podcast sustainable and achievable for us to go out to LA for the 2 weeks. Because
like we be the British Snoops, is it? So like they sent Snoop over, Britain can send us over. Yeah,
Dave, do you want to send out some boys from Wales? Snoop had such a good time.
He just what was all that about? Like, was it just to get LA in everyone's minds, or I don't know? But it was class for everyone. It worked.
It was fantastic. They've had a big push on LA today on socials, haven't they?
Yeah, obviously with the handover and then them last night. But
yeah, Snoop in foot. You don't realise it because it's all over now. But then I seen on socials earlier then as well that now is the start. Today is the start of a new Olympic cycle for all these athletes like working towards.
Yeah.
So that's bonkers.
A lot of them will already start their plans now. Yeah, like 2 years. Or is it next year? Well, next year's Worlds.
Worlds is next year, yeah.
And then they'll obviously be. Then they'll start leading into like already thinking about it, what can they achieve to get, or what they're going to have to do to get into LA, because obviously the times for the runners is just getting quicker and quicker. So yeah, they're going to have to like at big games even more mad. No,
definitely. And before we get off the Olympics, well done, Georgia Bell. What a run! What a story!
Unreal.
The face of the Olympics for me. Well done.
Yeah,
outstanding.
Again, we called it, when was it, a couple of weeks ago, months ago, and we said she got a shot, like a medal. I fancied she had a chance at a medal, and then to like the last 100, it was just like, wow. She almost had silver.
Go on. What?
Almost had silver, didn't she? She was only like, really nothing in there on the line.
Oh, yeah, that was nice. I've seen a lot of nice photos as well, and that's a good thing about like the social media age and stuff like that, is a lot of like sportsmanship as well, and you get to see it as well, don't you?
Yeah, it is brilliant.
Like her and the Australian girl was just sat on a line together living life, like, when I...
Yeah, and they just can't believe they both just medalled, like.
What a run. Well, they've seen some mental kicks. Fair play.
Yeah, there was some good ones. On the
I loved it. I might watch it all back over again now. Book 2 weeks off and watch it all back when I play.
I could. Now it's boring now, and like every day at work, I was managing to get it on the laptop and sneakily watch the afternoon. And then coming home in the night, it's like, right, 6 o'clock, feed up.
Yeah.
3 hours of in running, loving it. And then flip out over, you'd have the swimming or whatever. But now, yeah, we got
Wrapped it up with
football.
It was good. Wrapped it up with Steph Curry as well, doing what Steph Curry does.
Yeah.
That was good to watch because, like I said, when are you going to get a chance to watch Steph Curry or LeBron again? It's always 2, 3 a.m. in there. So, well done, Paris Olympics. 10 out of 10. Thoroughly enjoyed. Would recommend.
They done well, even though the Seine looked like it was a sewer.
Yeah. What else have we got to catch up on? This weekend, I exercised some demons and done the park run over down the Knoll in Neath. I think that's what... But I got my notification, innit? Got my result, right? 31 minutes, something like that. And do you know when I done the Knoll and said, I'm never, ever doing that again? That was the worst run of my life. I think I quit running after that. 25 minutes.
Yeah, it was. Because obviously when we I think we was training for the try at the time, weren't we?
I was just fastish, then. 25 minutes. I got the notification. It was like...
And he waited it, and now we've done 31 and it's all good.
Your PB at the Knoll remains 25 minutes. I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
Well, there's your target now, isn't it? You've got to get back to that.
I know, I don't know. That was nearly... That must be not far off 10 years ago.
No, 6, 7 years ago, probably.
Yeah.
Waiting for that.
Yeah. Before that, the week before, we went on tour. We got up early. I picked you up, and we went down to Park Brimbach for the return leg. What a park run.
Yeah, when I said after, when we got there, it was like, this is class, looking at the views around the lake. And yeah, great park run. I really enjoyed that. 2.5 laps around our lake, flat, fast. Great place, great people up there. We had a good day. And loads of the Phoenix come up with us as well. Fair play to them.
Yeah, it was good numbers. Some coffee, some tea and some toast after it as well. And I finally managed to get my 5K time to start with 2 again. So we're moving in the right direction.
Definitely.
But if anyone gets a chance to do a Park Brimbach, I would highly recommend it. Take your fast steps and go for a PB.
Definitely, it's well a PB course. It's one of the fastest I've done. Well, it is the fastest park run I have actually run, but yeah, it is. That helps when you've got a Lee at the front pulling you along.
Yeah. Yeah, doing a bag, didn't he?
Yeah, he done me, yeah.
It's all right. Plenty of time to get
him back. Winning. It's not about winning park runs. It's about competing.
Yeah. What's it like to come second, though? Is it about winning them when you come second in the park run and you were a little bit pissed off?
No, I wouldn't, because I didn't even have it in my mind going up there what I was going to do. I was going to go and try and run pretty quick, but I didn't know the thing with them, and I don't know who was there, who was about. But there was a good group of us at the front for the first lap and a half or so, working well together, and then you obviously just try and dig in and keep pushing, and then for that time.
Yeah. Numbers are important, especially maybe not for you so much because you're out in the front. But I found with the Knoll again now this week, where the numbers are a bit bigger, is you don't get stuck in your own head or anything because you've always got someone to stay away from and someone to pick off a little bit as well. Even though it's not about racing, it is about racing as well, isn't it? I think the bigger the numbers, the better your run's going to be as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that can definitely help. More people around you running similar sort of times as well, I suppose. And like say, then you've got a little target in front or behind to try and hold off, which can help if you are trying to run a bit quicker on the day.
Yes. We've got an update on the vests. What happened with the vest system? They come in, right? They should be here by the end of the month. But I think the people are getting a bit worried about them because we opened the orders. We didn't close the order for 3 weeks, I think, in the end, because people kept messaging saying, can I get one? Can I get one? Can I get one? So I think it's like people think they've ordered a vest 8 weeks ago maybe and it hasn't come. But it's not that because we didn't get the order in the end until about 3 weeks after we said we were going to get the order done. But they should be here by the end of this month now. They'll definitely 100% be here for Cardiff half because that's in October. Another race has opened his books local as well. It's still selling for November, the Richard Burton 10K. So there's plenty of racing opportunities in the vests. They will be here by the end of the month. We're hoping to have them. We're going to be doing Swansea Bay Park Run on the 31st of August. We're hoping to have them that weekend so we can give them out to anyone that's down there. And then Nicky can take whatever he's got from my stig, and then we can get the rest posted out. But they are ordered, they are in production, they are on the way.
They are. And yeah, like I say, hopefully it'll be good. Well, we think they're going to be end of the month, and we would hopeful, fingers crossed, they will be with us.
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely. I always say definitely, but there's nothing definite about it. They're coming from China, but they should be.
Yeah.
Good. What else? Porridge. I've got porridge because Hannah Irwin has been slagging porridge off on Instagram for the last 2 weeks. She don't like porridge, but she had porridge, right? We're only joking, Han, but she had porridge with granola on top.
I've seen a few people doing it.
Well, that's just like having chips on top of your mashed potato, isn't it?
I don't know if it's that. No, that's a bit. No, that'd be hanging. Mashed
I know, but they're the same thing, aren't they?
Well, no. Yeah, dried oats, granola, baked. Yeah, I suppose a bit.
Or just having,
porridge
mashed potato stuffed into a jacket potato.
Porridge is meant to be like sort of soft and warm, innit? And I'd have granola, and I'd sometimes have it with yogurt, sometimes with milk. I wouldn't have it in warm porridge, unless she's having it with cold porridge.
Wrong.
But I like porridge. I'm not going to slag it off.
No, I know. But porridge, I like porridge. But maybe she's trying it in the middle of the summer as well. And she might maybe leave it till winter, when it's warming you up in the mornings.
A bit warmer, like the old Ready Break advert, leaving a glow in now.
Yeah. But I like porridge. I'm quite new to porridge. It is quite an acquired taste as well. I think the first couple of bowls, you just have to get it down now. But
have something in it. Add some berries or some honey or something.
Yeah, protein powder, innit? Gives it a flavour as well. Thickens it up as well.
Yeah.
Very good. And it's the week of Tornapandy Track Classic. Wednesday, we will be down Tornapandy in the glorious sunshine.
Yeah.
Trackside at the Tornapandy Track Classic. We've been looking at the lineups. We've been looking at who's racing, what's going on. It's looking good, isn't it?
It is. Like, was it today you said he'd come out and we had a look at them today? Some good racing. All the way from, it's 6 o'clock start, isn't it, with the junior races? So it'd be good to see some of the younger whippets flying around. And then leading on to the 5Ks. Is it from 7? Was it from 7?
I think so, roughly about that, yeah. Isn't it 1500 growing up race as well?
No, 1Ks, isn't it? You've got 2 1Ks, elite men, or fast. The fastest. I don't know if they're before or in between or after. I can't remember now. We was looking at it today when we were looking through the section heats now and then. There's loads in each one, in fairness, and the 5Ks. There's some tasty ones looking there.
There is some big races there. Some big guns going in the women's race as well, including Porridge Girl Hannah Irwin, actually, I think, by the looks of it. So it should be a good night of racing. And like you've probably seen on their Instagram, Tornapandy Track Classics, there's going to be a coffee van down there. There's going to be food vans. I think they're selling T-shirts as well. So bring some change, because I don't know if they've got card machines yet.
Yeah, just in case, bring both. And obviously,
and sun cream.
Yeah, well, it's looking like a nice night. So yeah, let's try and get more people there and get a good atmosphere for those racing, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Nicky's available for selfies and signing babies. It'll be fine.
Signing selfies with babies. What do you say? Selling babies. What?
Selfies and signing babies.
Signing babies. So it said selling babies.
No, we don't condone that behaviour.
No, we don't.
Right. Anything else we got to get in? I think we covered pretty much everything.
Catch up to date.
When you still not, you're not racing now until?
My next race is Podium now. Podium 5K. That's a few weeks.
And we'll tell you more about that next week, but we're going to be down Podium as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that's everything we got to cover, we should probably get this week's guest in.
We should.
Let's see if he's ready. All right. 3, 2. Welcome back, me, Nicky. We've been joined by Phil Caseley. How's it going, Phil? You okay?
Are we boys all good?
Yes,
all good.
man.
All good. Thank you very much for giving us your time. Like I just mentioned before we jump back on, we did reach out to you because people were asking for a nutritionist. Phil's not a nutritionist, but what's your official title? Performance coach?
Yeah, online performance coach. Essentially, we look after it all. Training,
Yeah,
nutrition,
so
lifestyle.
you know a bit more about nutrition than me and Nicky probably anyway, right?
Oh, yeah. We still got the qualifications, just it's not something I specialise in as such.
Yeah. Okay. We'll touch on all that. But as we usually do, sports, exercise, training, all that kind of stuff. Where does it all start with you? Sports in school or?
I mean, it was football, 4 or 5 years old, just obsessed. Big
Yeah.
Aston Villa fan, growing up in Birmingham. And from there, it was a football. Coupled then with a bit of Arnold Schwarzenegger added to the mix. He was a bit of an icon for me. And like ever since I've been a young boy, I wanted to just be super fit and as jacked as possible. All started from there.
Yeah.
That's a bad mix up, playing football but looking like Arnie.
Yeah, he wouldn't have made much of a centre mid, I don't think.
No.
I don't know. Villa. You've had, I had a Villa kit because there was a nice kit when I'm a little bit older than you, but remember the green, red and black stripes, the Muller one?
That's the one, yeah.
When
Classic.
Saunders was there.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
19.
Oh yeah, and then that was a decent team.
We're on the up. It's a good time.
Yeah, you're doing well. I was going to say, you've been through the mill, but you've come out the other side.
Yeah, exactly. About time. Unai Emery, he's the man.
Not for Arsenal, but for Villa, looks like it. Cool. So, football, did you play football?
Yeah, so literally since 5 years old, I've played club football and only stopped a couple of years ago. So yeah, centre mid. Loved it. Been obsessed with football, and that's kind of how I've always wanted to be as fit as I can. The training was like, how can I be better on the football pitch? Albeit my training at the time was very flawed when I got into it because I didn't have a clue. Now with a bit of knowledge and wisdom, it's a very different kind of training we go through. But yeah, I was obsessed with football. And from there, it was just probably, I'd say about 12, 13, you start getting exposed to the old muscle and fitness magazines. Flex. Yeah. You start getting a little bit more drawn to the bodybuilding style of training and kind of moved then. That was where it kind of started. I thought, right, let's get some weights, start lifting, see if I can get a bit of a pump on, add some muscle. I had no idea what I was doing. And it was just something I became obsessed with really early. Absolutely loved it. And it's just never died.
Yeah, that's where our paths first crossed, really, because we worked together. How old are you now then, Phil?
36 now.
So yeah, 18 years ago then, 18, 19 years ago, we were both working in the Vale of Glamorgan Golf and Spa Resort, is the right terminology for it, I believe.
That is crazy, isn't it? 18, 19 years ago. Mental.
I know.
But yeah, so when I was in sixth form, I was training at the Vale Resort, and I realised if I got a job there, there's a chance I get a free gym membership. So yeah, I got a little gig at the leisure bar with you, and as we mentioned before, that was when I had a terrible hairdo. But yeah, I was a young up and coming.
Good straighteners, didn't you?
Very strong power. GHDs, they were the one. Shouldn't admit this.
What was your pet doing working there? What was you doing? What was your job?
Just behind the bar. So I was like serving people coffees, bit of booze, and taking out their food, and see Gareth out the back in the kitchen. Then
Phil had a banging gig. I had the worst gig in the world. Well, my gig wasn't the worst in the world. I was like a dish pig, they call it in the industry. So I would wash all the dishes, right? But the Vale is so far away from my estate, and I only got it because my friend Ryan was a chef there, and I couldn't drive. So he got me a job. But obviously, when the chef finishes, then they go home at the end of the shift. And that's when the dish pig's work starts. So you'd have like piles and piles of dishes, pans, the lot. And then as soon as he was ready, I'd just chuck the towel in and leave the pans for all the other dish pigs, really. So
You didn't do a job. You just turned up with your chef mate and then went home.
Yeah, have some like steak sandwiches. The caliber of waitresses was fantastic as well. So chat up some waitresses. And it was pretty good because you'd get the odd celebrity. I seen Westlife down there. And Phil, you must have served Robbie Fowler over and over when he was, because Cardiff were down there. I remember
at that
seeing
time,
him. Yeah.
All the FA Cups were being held at the Millennium Stadium.
Yeah.
So they would all stay down there. We had West Ham one year. I think Liverpool were down there. Welsh squad would train there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good for that. But yeah, I think your gig was better. You got to just hide out the back. Pretend
yeah, my gig was better because I left, yeah. But if I was driving, I would have been there till like 2, 3 a.m. washing dishes, like when all the waitresses are long gone.
Yeah, good job though. Like I said, free gym membership. I was in there because of that, and I think I was there for a few years.
Yeah. Who was there was 2 of you on that bar, wasn't it? Who was the other person? Because it was regular, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was another Phil. There was another Phil, and then there was KE, and I can't remember the other guy. There was Big Phil and Little Phil.
Right? I remember that.
That's right. And then it was Big Phil and Little Phil, and I was Little Phil at the time because I still hadn't worked out how to lift weights properly.
No. All right. Cool. That's another podcast for a different season. But so then you worked in the Vale, and we're still playing football. What about like endurance sports and stuff like that? That's only come recently, or
to be honest with you, that's only come out probably the last 3-4 years where I started to get into running more seriously. For me, my running was just football. So I'd be training twice a week, playing on the weekend. And this is the problem. All my training was just high, intense, short, snappy sprints. And I could never work out. While I was good on the football pitch, while I was such a shit runner when it come to running like a 5 or a 10K. Couldn't work it out. I was like, how am I so fit on the pitch, but useless when it comes to running? And as I started just stepping away from football, I wanted to try and just kind of get into it and address my weaknesses. It just all kind of kicked off from there. And once I actually learned that you don't have to go balls to the wall when you're going out for a run, you can actually start to enjoy it then. And it just, all kicked in and got the love, got the bug. And now I just try and combine the whole, I don't like to use the term, but hybrid style training where we're lifting weights, looking to get strong, fit, and great shape, but also combine running and endurance with that. I think it's just a lovely blend, which gets you in great shape, physically super fit, but then also enables you to perform at a pretty reasonable level as well. Like I've taken my running to standards that I couldn't have done in my early 20s. So
yeah. So your early 20s leads us on nicely. So you left the Vale, and then where'd you go then? And then that's when it was more. Would it be fair? I've only seen what I've seen on your Facebook and stuff like that. But would you have been training for the aesthetics at that point as well then? 100%. Would that be fair?
Yes. So I guess this kind of ties into why I had straightened hair back then and terrible hairdo. It was all about the look back then. You'll remember it, wouldn't you? And some of the older listeners here, it was straightened hair, All Saints V-necks, getting as big as you can, ridiculous tan. That's why people trained back then, and I was no different, unfortunately. I'm ashamed to say it. That's how it was. So training became about just getting in great shape, trying to get as big as possible. So essentially, I'd look good on the weekend. And that's where, to be honest, I wasn't really living. You can train and be in great shape, but you can be extremely unhealthy at the same time. And that was me. I was going out on a weekend, the boys getting absolutely obliterated, but looking half decent. So it just goes to show that there are two sides of the coin with training, aren't there? It's like you get, I don't want to tar everyone with the same brush, but the kind of aesthetic style crew with that tends to be a lot of partying and not such healthy habits, shall we say, that go with it.
Yeah. I think more so back then as well. That was like the bread and butter era of it as well. Before, I think there's a much bigger awareness of this, like you said, hybrid training and stuff now that never was really available. And it was more, like you said, get as big as you can, however you can, and find the camo shorts with the most pockets and go to Ibiza.
That's exactly it. That's it. Get as big as you can, big tan, terrible hairdo. Jobs are good, and that's it. Like, running wasn't really fashionable back then, was it?
No, it wasn't. No,
it was probably unfashionable.
Yeah, it was. It was like uncool. Now look at it. It's gone 360. Represent 247 up, big sunglasses.
We were saying last week, I mean, a massive pull of it now is the fashion of it as well.
Yeah, big time. So it's kind of like what maybe bodybuilding was back then. Running and kind of functional fitness, endurance events is becoming just gone completely on its head. Which is great.
Everything's getting bigger, isn't it? Like your high rocks, obviously you're running, triathlons, high rocks, the gym sort of mix into it now. It's getting much bigger all the time.
100%. I think it's great. Especially, I think that's part of the reason why running's growing and growing and growing in my eyes. The functional fitness events. You take high rocks, for example. Key component of that is being a strong runner, isn't it? And if you want to be good at high rocks, you best be a good runner. You need to learn to work for 90 minutes upwards potentially, depending on your times. And I think with all these events, it's just kicked off now. I think it's brilliant. It's such a healthy lifestyle, such a great way to train.
I mean, I think it's a massive change in direction, and a lot of people now. We've said loads of times in the MyStag area at the moment, and that kind of area, there's such a young age group that's focusing on triathlon at the moment, and we see it through, like, there's a lot of people from MyStag. Addicts are really good at their socials as well, where you see lots of people down in Addicts, and the age frame down there is getting younger and younger, and people are focusing much more on the running and the endurance sports and the high rocks and everything than getting those tans and going partying on the weekends.
100%, because that's how it was when we were growing up, wasn't it? It was all about escapism on the weekend.
Yeah.
It was fashionable to get as drunk as you could, get smashed. That's just what it was.
Yeah, didn't know nothing.
No. Didn't know anything else.
All straight out on the piss from Saturday till Monday morning.
Exactly, that was my life. Yeah, really didn't help me at all that back then.
No, and I wasn't even aesthetically pleasing either. So I was just going. Out and getting smashed and being fat.
You were extra committed to the weekends. That's why.
Yeah, he extended his weekends.
Full send.
I never went out on a Sunday though. I was funny, so I could get away with it, I think.
You had the words.
Oh, but so this is all new as well. We'll get on to Perform 24 and everything. But so what kind of work was you juggling then as well?
So early 20s, I was a mortgage advisor, working in banking and finance. So it was bad. They gave me it was a really good role. I'd done my qualifications to get up to that level, but they'd introduced a role where it was done over 4 days a week. So you'd work, for me, I had Tuesday to Friday. It was slightly longer hours, but downside of that, you can see where it was going. I had an extra long weekend then.
Yeah, and money to burn as well.
Yeah, exactly. I was earning good money. I was young, stupid. I mean, I had 3-4 day weekend ahead of me, and I was just going full send then with the boys. And that went on for a little while, but I was still working hard and did a few more qualifications and ended up moving into project management then. I probably missed out a big gap there. I needed one big blowout before that happened. Me and the boys decided it was a good idea to go to Ibiza for 110 days straight.
What?
So,
how long?
Yeah, we had a good sesh. That was
110?
110 days.
What?
So like a third of a year?
Yeah, exactly. We all got a career break. Like, I applied to the bank. I wrote a letter saying, I've just broken up with my girlfriend. This is a really good time for me to get away and find myself. But I'll be back, I promise. And then, no one thought I was coming back. But me and 6 other boys all done the same, jacked in the jobs. Went to Ibiza and just lived it up. 110 days straight we managed. And it was just ridiculous things we got up to. But that was kind of enough's enough. That was the moment when I started then taking my health and fitness a lot more seriously off the back of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the 10-day benders are enough. 110, I don't think I'd ever want to do anything.
110. So it's become renowned, actually. The place we stayed in is called The Terrace. So it was a rooftop terrace. And all things went on up there. And none of us worked. We just rinsed our savings or made a bit of money out there, which you don't need to know about. And yeah, and just lived the life. And yeah, I could never do that again. But yeah, ultimately, it kind of was that moment then when I got back. So I can't carry on doing this anymore.
Yeah.
You got to start taking things seriously and start really putting a bit more focus into work then, and moved into project management, which ended up being a great career for me.
That's a good. Like, I thought my out was good, where mine was Boardmasters, and I was stood in the field dressed as a lobster, pouring down rain, Chemical Brothers headlining, and I thought, this is it. It's never going to get better than this ever again. So I kind of jacked it in the day after then.
Went out on top.
But that's nothing compared to an 110-day bender. And who waved the white flag? Was it like all of you, or did one of you have to go,
People
I'm going
to... dropping off one by one. Yeah, I didn't even make it to the end. So the plan was to make it until the closing parties, but I was done by mid-September. So I was like, right, lads, I'm going home.
That's enough.
Yeah. They're like, what a weakling. Where are you going?
Oh, and it was the biggest come down ever when I got home.
Oh.
For one reason or another, but it got worse. So I got home and couldn't sleep that evening, as you can imagine, probably why. But there was a knock on the door then at midnight with my parents, and there's 2 police officers at the door then. It was like, "We're under arrest, Phil." And I was like, what for? And whilst I was away, I'd been speeding just before I'd left, didn't realise. Right, I'd gone through a speeding camera at like some silly speed. Again, I'm not painting myself in a great light here. So hopefully we'll finish strong on this podcast. I'm a bit of an idiot, and I was driving way too fast, and they wanted to take me to court for that. And I didn't know about this. They'd been sending me loads of letters, and I'd just obviously been ignoring them because I was in Ibiza doing what I was doing in Ibiza. And come back because I'd missed my court date. They'd obviously flagged up on the system I was home, and yeah, and that was a nice surprise. They told me that you've got to be in court first thing in the morning to fight for your license then. But yeah, so that would come down from hell.
Head must have been scrambled.
Oh, it was in a bad place. But yeah, we kept the license, 6 points, and a little paragraph in the paper. That's all it was.
Not a bad. Got over it quite well.
From there, right, things started going up. I started turning into a decent guy.
Yeah. Well, you've got to be a rat to become a decent guy, like, haven't you?
Exactly. Every angel's got a past.
Yeah. But a constant throughout, maybe apart from the 110s in Ibiza, is you are a learner as well. You've done your CMAP is right for the mortgage advisor qualification. You've done all the project management qualifications.
100%.
I know. I've got a history in employability, so I know the words, but I wouldn't be able to do it. But so you're obviously a learner, and that's transferred over into what you're doing now, right? Yeah,
100%. It's like, even throughout all that, I've always kind of been really driven as a guy. I've always wanted to fulfill my potential. Problem was I didn't really know what my purpose was or what direction I wanted to go into. So I kind of just thought that corporate life was going to be my life. So once I got back and started focusing, I went into project management, and I had a great 5-6 years doing that. I was in a position where I was earning great money. I had really, really good job. It was flexible. I was working at home a lot even before COVID happened. And, on paper, that's it. You're sorted. You're earning good money. You got loads of flexibility. You can pretty much take loads of holiday. You can manage your own diary. But for me, there was just something missing all the time. I just didn't know what it was. And ended up then, because I was bored in my job, I just started doing more learning. I thought this time, right, let's start learning about the stuff I'm truly passionate about. And that's always been training. So even though I'd done a couple of courses back when I was younger, back when I was working at Vale, I started then investing in myself and doing a load of different qualifications on like health, performance, sports, etc. And then into my personal training qualifications, then into more advanced qualifications. Didn't really know where it was going to go at the time. It just felt like I was learning, and I feel like I always have to be learning. That's something that's always been ingrained in me. And from that, opportunity just comes about, doesn't it? I was armed with skills.
Yeah.
And what happened then? I decided just to do a little portfolio, just for a laugh, just coaching my mates. Thought, I'm going to just have a crack at this and just see if I can get some really good results, because you're all on social media, you see the before and afters. I was watching coaches, I knew coaches, and I was just thinking, do you know what? I don't rate them. I actually think that the standard of a lot of the coaching is quite poor from what I'm seeing. I'm watching people in the gym getting coached. They're talking nonsense. Like, I know it, I've got the qualifications, so I started just putting my money where my mouth is, essentially. I started getting really good results. And from that, I just got a bit of confidence. And I was like, do you know what? I could do this.
Yeah.
And it just grew and grew and grew and grew then. And that's kind of how the business got formed.
Yeah, because you're not a personal trainer anymore. You're running an entire operation now, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's really important that you are that learner as well, because you can PT, but if you can't operate a computer or run a system, or your socials are really good as well, then you're just a PT. And that's fine. But you're more than just an online PT when you're doing what you guys are doing now.
That's it. Essentially, it's, like I said, running a whole operation now. We've got a big book of clients where we have to look after their programming, nutrition, all their training, communications, it's marketing, it's your financials. There's so much you have to do. But I think that's where my career previously really held me in good stead to be able to run a business, especially being a project manager, knowing how to plan, map out, and deliver projects, how to run financial budgets, etc. But it's all kind of led me to this, and it's just all fallen into place. Well, I say fallen into place, not being without hiccups, as I'm sure we'll discuss. But yes, brilliant business. I absolutely love doing what I'm doing now, and it's kind of a good feeling when you kind of feel that you've found your purpose, i.e., doing something that you're truly passionate about, and it doesn't feel like work then.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, exactly. But it's a massive jump from going from a well-paid job to self-employment, isn't it? What was that? Was you were you sure, or how did you transition?
So the transition was building up my portfolio. So it went from working with people for free, doing some, plenty of face-to-face coaching in the gym, kind of just earning my stripes, just not expecting any money from it, and then starting to charge for it. Started to then make a bit of money where I had an exit plan. I thought, right, if I can get to a point where I can nearly match my monthly salary, or at least be on the trajectory that suggests that I can match it, then I'll make the call. And I did. I made sure I had a good little bit of savings in the bank just to cover a few months at least if things didn't work out. And then, more importantly, I then hired and invested in a mentor as well, someone that's been there, done it, and could kind of give me the advice I needed and kind of the steps I needed to take to set up a proper business operation, and then also have a strategy for how to build the business to the levels I wanted.
When was that? How long ago was it?
It's 5 years ago now.
Gone fast?
It's flown by. It's ridiculous. It feels like it was yesterday. But then it's strange on the other hand, it feels like a lifetime ago. It's weird because so much has happened in between there. But it's been a blur, and it's got me to a point though now it's just like Monday to Sunday just goes in an instant, because you don't truly switch off from this business. But it's something that I love spending my time and energy on, so it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah, and like you said, it's hasn't been without hiccups, and you had one of the biggest hiccups, the words people never want to hear, I imagine, right in the middle of it. And that must have been, a massive scare, massive shock to the system, and reevaluate everything as well then, is it?
Definitely, yes. So start of last year, I was 3 years into the business, things are going great to the point where, I've taken the revenue to places I never thought I'd possibly be able to take it. I'm living a lifestyle which is great. I'm spending time in Marbella, Portugal. I'm getting great results, most importantly. My clients are loving it. Physically, I feel like I'm at my peak. And then bang, last January, suddenly fell ill then. I say suddenly fell ill. It was gradual in a sense. I started just feeling a bit tired. I put that down to work-related and training-related stress. Started looking a bit pale. I was like, oh, okay, I'm probably just burning a candle at both ends a bit here. And then the big symptom that came out there, I started passing blood in my stool then. You know, a bit graphic for some of you listeners perhaps, but it's good that you know the symptoms.
Yeah.
I started passing blood, and I knew that was a warning sign for bowel cancer, given that I've got family history of it. My mother's had it multiple times, unfortunately. And yeah, that was the moment where my world kind of got turned upside down. It's been a pretty tough 18 months to kind of get back up on my feet. But yeah, we've been through it. So got diagnosed, had to then go through a massive operation because it was advanced cancer, unfortunately, where not only got to my bowel, got to my lymph nodes as well. I had to have a foot of my bowel taken out, which it was a massive operation. It took, it was meant to take 4 hours, but it took 8 hours because of complications, which had a lot of people worried at home because no one knew what was going on. Yeah, and then so I had a foot of my bowel removed, and I was fitted with a stoma, a bag, essentially. Yeah, so I couldn't even go to the toilet myself. So, which, as you can imagine, it's not just the fear now of being ill, but it's also a loss of my identity as well. You know, being strong, fit, in physically great shape, happy to rip his top off, to suddenly, you know, shell of a man. Cancer, very ill, prognosis not looking great, and he's got a bag. And yeah, you can imagine it's quite a challenging transition to go through.
Yeah. Imagine that mentally as well. Like I say, obviously physically it must have been obviously awful, but mentally that's like a big, huge changing thing to try and process and get through in the first place and recover.
100% is, mentally the most challenging thing you can go through. It's being told you've got cancer, being told, not really sure how serious it is, but it's definitely advanced. And you've got that period, the worst period I think was from being diagnosed to then getting the results of your MRI scan, or CT scan rather. And it was those few weeks when I was at my worst, because your brain just goes into overdrive.
And everything.
And to the point, this is where I learned just how negatively stress can impact you, because I was actually experiencing symptoms which weren't there. My brain was just telling me they were. For example, I was seeing that my face was jaundiced.
Yeah.
I was feeling pains in my kidney, around the liver region, like really sharp pains, which was all pointing towards it spread into the liver. And then I was getting seizures, or there was seizure-like symptoms where my body was literally just shutting down, shaking. I'd spent multiple times in A&E for that, and it was the creation from stress.
Stress, and the mental.
Yeah, my body had just literally shut down from the stress of it, and it was just going into full-on panic mode. And yeah, that was probably the toughest time. But yeah, once I got the CT scan result back, it showed that it was kind of contained to the bowel and localized area, and it looks like you've got a chance of being all right here. I went into fight mode then. I was like, right, let's kick the shit out of this. Let's go for it. It's going to be a tough old year ahead. I knew in my head, and my mum and I had this conversation. We accepted it was probably going to be pretty much a whole year taking up my life. So if you can get through that year, you can get through anything. So yeah, it was a big operation, 4 rounds of chemo, and then also had to well, thankfully, it was a positive operation at the end, my stoma reversal. And yeah, we've got through it. So last month, I finally got the all clear. And now we're kind of just pushing on and trying to take my life back.
Yeah. And I don't know how long it was after. You were very open. Obviously, you share what you want to share on social media, right? But you were very open and positive about it after social media. After that period of time, were you pretending to be right on social media in that little window we spoke about as well? Or was it after that green light, amber light, that you started being a bit more positive online?
No, I mean, I try and be as open, honest and transparent as I can be on social media. So I didn't announce that I had cancer until I was ready to kind of be that positive guy.
Yeah.
When I was down in the dumps and struggling, I just carried on training, and I was still running my business, still coaching my clients as usual. I had no idea what was going on. I still showed up every single day and just carried on coaching. It was only then when I was ready to tell them.
It does both, doesn't it? I said it probably doesn't help, but again, it gives you that something to hang on to as well. You're probably burning yourself out more, but there's still a little tiny light at the end of the tunnel as well with it, isn't it?
It was, work was my escape, and training was as well. Training was just what kept me sane. Like that moment, that hour when I was in the gym, I could almost forget that I might die. But yeah, it was once I had results from my CT scan back, and I kind of knew that prognosis was a bit more positive. That was when I found like I was happy to tell everyone. I started off by telling close friends, my family obviously knew, but then also my clients as well. So I let them know first before I put it out on social media, and they were incredibly supportive, but also shocked that they'd just been coached for the last 3 months and not even noticed.
Did it improve your following and stuff like that or anything as well, like from that kind of side of everything? Seeing somebody that's so honest and so transparent about it, did it boost followers on socials and stuff? I know that's not what
not really. Just because I didn't like my content, I don't really try and go viral. It's more around, I don't bother my hashtags normally, or I don't do enough reels, to be honest. But I wouldn't say I got many extra followers off it, but what it did allow was for me to build a lot stronger connections with my current following, because obviously they could see what was going on, and maybe exactly, they could see that I'm not just some arrogant coach. I'm someone that's willing to be vulnerable with them. I'm willing to show weakness. I'm willing to take them through my journey, and a lot of people, nearly everyone can relate, in the sense that if they haven't been through it themselves, they've got friends or family that have, and it maybe brings back and triggers emotion. And from that, I'd say I don't have the biggest following, but I've got a very engaged following. I've got some really strong connections. I like to speak and chat to as many of my followers as can. And from that, so also I wouldn't say my numbers went up, just built some really strong connections off the back of that. And I think hopefully, it's not about me ultimately getting more clients or making money off the back of it, but hopefully it's helped people in some way, shape or form just see that, it doesn't have to be the end of the world. You can come out on top, you can come out stronger, and potentially it can be an even brighter future ahead of you if you get diagnosed with cancer.
So you ran Porthcawl 10k how long after chemo?
I ran the Porthcawl 10k during chemo.
It
was like the week after my second round, and so I was fucked in so many different ways. There was the cancer, then there was the big operation, and it was a huge operation. I've been cut open right through my middle. I've had a foot of my bowel out. I've got a stoma. Then you add a couple of rounds of chemo into the mix. My first round of chemo, I had the onset of a heart attack, which was great, as you can imagine. I was lucky. That was on Bank Holiday Sunday, and everyone was coming in getting pissed, and I was there with, strapped up to my eyeballs, just checking my heart. So I had an allergic reaction to my first round of chemo, and the pulmonary artery in my heart was going into constant spasm. It was the onset of a traumatic heart event. So we don't know if that caused damage, but that had happened. Then we had another round of chemo, and it just completely, it's hard to describe what it does for your energy. It completely wipes you. Your fitness will go beyond square one. I was just even getting into a small jog, and I'd be at 185, 190 heart rate. It's just ridiculously hard. Gone from super fit to just like
shell,
just like I'd never trained in my life. I remember putting it on my social media actually before, and one of my stories. It literally felt like giving a 20-stone man a piggyback as I was running. It was that difficult. But we did the Porthcawl 10. It was probably, it's one of those things. It wasn't very wise looking back. probably a bit risky, but what it did for me was it like gave me focus, and it kind of proved that I could still do stuff.
Yeah, still get out there and get going.
Yeah.
Fair play too. Some story.
Yeah, and then I've done did the Cardiff half then in October as well. So that was after 4 rounds of chemo. Again,
Probably beat me on.
yeah, I'm sure I lapped you.
Probably lapped it.
No, it was a bad one, that. But we got it done. It wasn't about times. It was just about getting it done. And you know, it wasn't even that much about me. It was about just knowing that, because I know in the future, unfortunately, statistics are 1 in 2 now, which is ridiculous, are going to get cancer, right? It might not be now, but people are going to be in the same position that I was in. And they're going to come to me because they know that I've put it out there, I've showed my journey, and I can show them, look, do you know what? I still managed to do this, I managed to do that. I mean, I got to this position within 6, 12 months after. You can do exactly the same. And those were the reasons why I was doing what I was doing. It wasn't about me or my personal journey. It was about how can I potentially show others what's possible.
Yeah. That's really important to see, because
to focus on, just give some that little hope in it, like it can be done.
Yeah, and I think that was driving me, and it was enabling me to kind of put the hard work in. But that was a horrible half marathon, that one. I was in the back of an ambulance, I think from about mile 8, because it was my stoma. So I was running with a stoma, and it was a really humid day.
It just came out of nowhere that year, didn't it? It was raining in the start line, and then it just went.
And it was hot. And so again, a bit of graphic detail here. It was stoma bag. It was starting to come loose then because of the humidity, and that was my worst nightmare. Obviously, you know what comes through that. And so we stopped. We got it tied on with some like rope, because like the adhesive had come off, and the rope was then digging in to my intestine, which is essentially now on my belly, because that's that's what the stoma is. And at every step I was taking, this piece of rope was just like slicing into my intestine. It wasn't nice. So then we had to have an ambulance stop to get strapped up again. I was bloodied, bruised at the end, but it was a good one to complete.
When you did ankle is nothing.
No, exactly.
That's it. I'm never stopping because my ankle ever again now.
No excuses.
You can't.
You've just done Bithcall again now, then. Are you strength-wise back? How fast has it come back? Where are we now? What's the plan going forward?
Yeah,
and running is new as well, because it is a running podcast, and I seem to see a lot more focus on running in your kind of programming and stuff, where I see through your socials now than ever. Is that right?
So essentially what we're doing, we do a lot more running, more now than probably what we ever did, because we're loving it, exploring what we can do. But a big part of what we're doing is essentially we're bringing in guys and girls with the right mindset who just want to become great all-round athletes, leaner, stronger, fitter, faster. So with that comes lifting weights, getting really strong, but also then running as well, because why wouldn't you run? Natural movement pattern gives you so much mentally. It's great physically. And I've been exploring what I can do with running, been falling in love with it. My clients are the same. They kind of want to do a similar style of training that I do, and we do half marathons, 5K, 10K speed blocks. We do high rocks events. So where I'm at now, I did the Porthcawl 10, was it last month before? And I'm pretty much back now. You know, I'm not setting a world alight on my speed, but it was 43 minutes in the Porthcawl, which is good. I'm happy with. And I think now if, a couple more months, I'm going to be in the low 40s. Whether or not I break sub 40, I'm not quite sure, but it's coming on nicely. So I'm as strong and fit now as I was in my early 20s. It just goes to show, really, doesn't it? With the right programming, right recovery protocols. It doesn't really matter how old you are. You can still get fast and get towards PB level.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, Nick, you were PB in this year now, and
I'm
in age.
5K and 10K PB this year. So it just goes to show now. I've been running 8 years, and I'm still getting there, like with a good training block and doing the right things. You can still do it. And obviously, I'm 47 in a couple of weeks.
No way. I mean, you've got a grainy picture here, but you don't look 47.
Don't look 47, thank you. Look 50.
Yeah, I was about to say, you look 55.
But it's important. I mean, the biggest message from your story is that you've evolved as well. And for every person that evolves, you still got that person that's still wearing baggy camo shorts and getting as big as they can and still using straighteners. So, well done for getting out of that. Actually, you don't want to call it a rut because it's good times, isn't it? But you've got to move.
Good times. But like you said, I think evolve is the right word. And now it's all about essentially what we do. What I'm looking to do is just strong, fit, healthy, have fun with my training, explore different disciplines, be a bit of an all-rounder. I know I'm never going to be the fastest runner. I know I'm never going to be the strongest lifter, but I can be pretty good at all disciplines.
Good at it, yeah.
Training approach.
Yeah, and just a good example is the wrong word, isn't it? But again, just good person doing good things, and people look at you and do the same, doing the right things.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, this is what we're all about. Again, it's like if we can get guys strong, fit, healthy, what that's then going to do for their mentality, their energy, their confidence, that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's like, that's why we do it. It's like getting in shape is quite surface level. The real reason you do it is for the reasons behind it. It's the confidence it gives you. It's the longevity. It's the being able to run around with the kids, etc. And that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? And that's why I love doing what I'm doing. It's like I see that change in the people and I get massive satisfaction from it.
How many people do you sort of have with you on board?
So we got 50 clients at the moment.
Yeah.
So we've got a decent sized community.
Yeah.
And we've got plans now we're putting in place to really kind of grow the brand over the next couple of months. So my partner, Shona, runs her business as well. It's a separate entity. But we're looking at ways that potentially we can go all in together on Perform 24 and really kind of accelerate it over the coming months, because we've got some really, we've got a really good product now where it's it essentially is changing lives. It's getting people the strongest, the fittest, the healthiest, the happiest they've ever been when they're training. We're keeping them in shape, which is key. And, we're taking people to events, Hyroxes, doing PBs, and it's great. We love doing it. Our clients love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've seen some. I was looking through your social. I followed your socials from afar. That sounds creepy, but from afar ever since you stumbled across them, and it's it's come on leaps and bounds. And some of the boys are some of them are more shredded than you know.
I know. Do you know what? That's become a problem now. The systems are so good here. The coaching is so good.
Yeah.
That I'm at the point now where I'm trying to catch them up.
That's right.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We got some machines in here, and I'd say that to the boys though. It's I'm very average, in terms of my genetics. I've got a great application. I'm consistent, but if someone comes in who's got, they're already in a good position, they're strong, they're fit. Maybe if they got good genetics on top, they're going to go. The levels they'll achieve is far beyond what I can do, and that's why we're seeing it now. We've got some absolute machines who are performing at a really high level. They're running extremely fast times. We just turned out, I think we have 15 PBs over the last few months with 5 and 10K. Got some serious Hyrox athletes here as well who are working towards the hour and sub-hour mark, which is gold standard in terms of timings. Yeah, so me, I'm just one of the average boys now.
Yeah.
The wise old man that sits at the top, and the sensei.
Yeah, the sensei. Yeah. Birds, that is the master.
Splinter.
Yeah. You're the governor of California now. You're not Terminator anymore.
Yeah, I've moved, transitioned now to governor.
Excellent. Phil, that was what a story. And thanks for because a lot of people wouldn't want to share it and stuff like that. So thanks for being comfortable with sharing it and stuff like that as well. I know we didn't speak too much about nutrition, but we have got a couple in the Q&As. So if we take a quick break and then we'll pop back on, we normally do a this or that, a couple of questions, and then wrap it up. You happy with that?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Happy with that, Nick? Anything else?
Yeah, no, that was great. I was say if there's some nutritional questions, because people are asking me as well, bits and bobs, because I got no clue. I just run my nutrition. I eat generally well, but nutrition, calories, man, I'm useless. If we got something on, that'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Happy days. Right, we'll be right back. Welcome back. We've still got Phil for a little bit longer. It's that time, this or that with Nicky. Ready, Nick?
Yeah, here we go, Phil. Great chat. Just a couple of this or that from me, and then go with the Q&As off our Insta family. Right, first up, high rocks or running?
High rocks.
Ooh. Burpees or pull-ups?
Burpees.
Burpees are they the worst exercise ever. When we used to play football, we talked about that. That was just like the worst punishment ever. Burpees.
Burpee broad jump.
Savage. When training, with or without music?
Without.
Yeah.
I'm a psychopath.
Coffee or tea? This is like
coffee.
a one.
Black.
Coffee. Black?
Yeah, psychopath.
I'm not a real big coffee fan, but I've started liking it black recently.
Yeah, that's how you gotta have it. Milk some
I'm just growing up.
You like your coffee, Gad, don't you?
No.
No? What was that?
I've
seen a load of coffee adverts last week.
That's because I don't like coffee. So we had James Hennigan on a couple of weeks ago, and he said you need to try Hardlines. So they sent us out, Hardlines did, a care package, a couple of T-shirts and some instant coffees. And I've been working my way through black coffees, milky coffees, iced coffees. But it's going to take a lot to take tea away from me.
Yeah, he's going to take a while to get off that tea. Last one from me then. Cold pod or hot sauna?
Hot sauna.
Yeah, I'm hearing loads about that lately. I'm seeing more and more about the sauna being great beneficial recovery-wise and just daily anyway. I've seen a lot about that.
Blood flow, right? So
that's to do with it, is it?
Bit of a segue, but yeah, cold plunge overrated. It's like it can have its effect, it can have its benefits, but the way it's been kind of plugged and utilised at the moment is, for example, if you're trying to put on muscle and you have a cold plunge after, it's going to blunt the muscle building process, and a lot of people don't realise that. Sauna, though, great. So many benefits. Gets the blood flowing, releases the toxins.
Yeah,
it's
great.
Thing is, the pod is like easy to just chuck one in the back garden, and to get a sauna, it's going to cost you a bit more.
That's it.
They did start doing pop-up ones as well, didn't they? I think the ice blast guys or whatever they called started doing like garden saunas you could set up as well. Yeah, I think ice blast. That's what you get in the cinema, isn't it? But cold plunges is it was cold plunge, wasn't it? And now you've got all these pop-up places that are cold plunge sauna. They're just going to go back to sauna, aren't they? And have empty cold plunges to keep your wallets in.
Can't be a cold shower. That's it.
That does the job.
Yeah, I know. I got sucked in. I got a loomy out my garden sitting there with pond water in it.
I was going to say, it's probably greens.
My mate's got a cold plunge, like a tank in his garage. It's all temperature control. He spent a fortune on it. And we had like a plunge off, me and a few boys on that. And like I sat in it for 11 minutes. And my middle toe was white for about 11 hours after. No word of a lie. Even in the evening, it was still white. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Advice, kids, don't do that.
Immature ego.
Still know your limits.
Yeah.
Right, question answers. Let's get this one out of the way first from a fan's favourite from the podcast. Who is your favourite sports therapist?
There's this guy in Merthyr I go to. He's pretty good. I'm joking. It's got to be Ryan George, isn't it?
There we are, George.
There's your all my clients there. He is the best. Hi, Ryan.
I swear to God, they won't. I can't remember the last episode we had where Ryan George didn't get a mention in the pod. Fair play.
Popular guy.
He's a good chat as well, Georgie, isn't he? When you're having, I think that's important as well. He's a good chat when you're having work done with him as well.
It's a steal though. It's like torture, isn't it?
I know.
It tells you, it's only one more. It's horrific.
Big man.
He's had some of my clients hold his hand. They've had to hold his hand. Put him through so much pain.
Right. Racing. How much caffeine should you have, and how long before a race?
So with caffeine, right? Little bug there. You see people in the gym, don't you, with their Monster, swigging away. thinking it's going to give them a bit of hit.
Yeah.
Little do they realise it's going to take 30 to 45 minutes to kick in.
Mm.
So if you're caffeinating before a race, take that into consideration. 30, 45 minutes really, you want to be taking your last dose of caffeine. You can take that in the form of coffee, you can take tablets. There's loads of, I've actually tried recently caffeine bullets for these chews.
Oh yeah.
I think they're 18 milligrams. In terms of dosage though, it does depend on your tolerance and the size of you. So it can be anywhere from around about 60 milligrams right up to about 300 milligrams, 300 being on the very high end. I think to give you an example, I think a coffee is around about 120 milligrams, around about that. There's some of the stronger energy drinks coming in around 200 milligrams.
They that much? Oh.
Yeah, they vary. They do vary. The stronger ones are on the 200 milligram end. But yeah, so you could take up to around about 300 milligrams, we say is a good dose. But you've got to be taking caffeine, in my opinion, if you are racing hard, just for the fact that it's going to stimulate your nervous system. It's going to have you, aroused and ready. It can help with like your firing of your muscles, the coordination of it, but then also as well as a buffer for pain as well. So you're going to be able to tolerate higher levels of pain for longer. Had you not then if you hadn't taken caffeine.
Good.
So yeah, answer that. I guess it depends on what you can tolerate.
Yeah.
Like for me,
but make sure it's half hour 40 before whatever.
Yeah, if I took 300 milligrams, I'd be off my tits. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, it would as well.
Oh, right. This one, what Nicky went running with one of the boys on the weekend, and he's throwing him under the bus. But if Nicky is going to be, let me get it right. If Nicky was to run a hilly 30k, should he consume some sort of nutrition?
Nicky, what are you playing at?
I know, because it was going to be a nice, easy run. I didn't take it. I was fine. I didn't bonk or anything, but I know I should have took one.
Talk me through it. 30k hilly route, right? That's big.
Yeah, it was a big run. Saturday morning, me and Oliver out. He had his 90 grams of precision fueling and a 30 gram. I just forgot to take mine with me. I thought, we're going a nice, easy, chilled run. I'll be all right. I was fine. I didn't feel.
Man, I had a change of game for you now.
I had a bagel with peanut butter and a coffee like half hour before we went.
Perfect. Right, so you've had that. Day before, you should have had probably a bit of a carb load as well, given the fact that it's going to be quite a intense run. Yeah, exactly. So we normally say for our boys somewhere around between 5 and 8 grams per kilo of body weight of carbs that you want to be taking on the day before. And then what you had before, perfect. And then we keep it so simple with our runs. It's like whenever you hit the 45-minute mark, 3 to 4 jelly babies every 20 minutes. Yeah. And it'll just keep you fueled. And everyone likes jelly babies, right?
Yeah. Fuck, either one of the best sweets going.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. There's your excuse. Go buy a nice share bag of jelly babies. Right?
Yeah, it'd be cheaper because I use gels and they're expensive. So that's probably why I didn't take one.
Yeah, you got to be careful with some of the gels as well. Just I was training at an event or competing at an event a few weeks ago, and My Protein were handing out their gels, and they put my stomach in bits.
Yeah, I've learned over the years in my marathon training what I can and what ones I get used to now. So yeah, I've learned the hard way with that.
Yeah.
I'll take the advice on board and start taking gels on my longer training runs. I know I should have. I just didn't.
Gels with jelly babies. Let's get them in you.
And how many?
You won't do it, will you?
No, I will.
Because he's got half tights on. He's got nowhere to keep them.
I have got. They've got loads of pockets in my half tight. What sort of per hour then? Taking on that
so when you hit the 45-minute mark, for you, I would take 4 jelly babies.
Yeah.
Every 20 minutes then.
Thereafter.
Yeah. So you're literally just having fun. You're going on a little bit of a strut. Just chucking jelly babies in your mouth. It's a dream.
Yeah. I'm doing it. That's my new plan.
Yeah. Like, you are going on a run now. Let's go get some jelly babies.
Yeah. It's an excuse to eat jelly babies. We're going to go out for a run.
Now know your reason.
Oh, good. I think that covers, because it's a minefield, the nutrition side of it is anyway, and I think more people are looking at how to fuel for a race, before a race. So a big carb load the day before. If you're taking caffeine, whatever you can handle 30 to 40 minutes before, and then 3 or 4 jelly babies after 45 minutes, and then a couple of jelly babies every 20 minutes until you're done.
Yeah, that's the basics. I mean, it's just making sure that, this is what I see a lot of people fall down on, is just looking at your week as well, making sure you are actually eating enough.
Yeah, it's lovely.
And then let's just say you're doing that again next week or another big run. It's like, how are you recovering as well? Are you then eating enough? If you're running on Saturday, what's your Sunday, your Monday looking like? You can't just suddenly start eating alcohol food or, really poor quality food.
Yeah.
It's like plenty of carbs in you there, your friend, lots of protein as well. So around about 2 grams per kilo of body weight, gold standard.
Oh, that's probably where I mess up. I don't think I eat enough protein probably. Me, I just don't sit on top of my protein.
Yeah, it's really important. It's just, the obvious growth and repair. It's going to help you recover quicker. Yeah. It's going to make you stronger as well. It's great as well if you're trying to improve your body composition, add muscle. 2 grams per kilo of body weight. So easy. It's just have a big portion of every meal. Make sure it's a priority. Good lean source of meat, fish. Add some Greek yogurt around it. Maybe some snacks you sorted then.
Yeah. No,
happy days. Right, our 2 token questions. I don't know if you've listened previously or you know the token questions, but number 1, favourite song to train, run to at the moment?
It's got to be, right, the new Chasing Status and Stormzy song.
Oh, I listened to it last night.
That's PB music.
I was listening to it last night and I thought that's going on the playlist ready for my next run. It is a banger. I'll allow it. Nick Stormzy's a rapper. Can you hear us, Nick?
Yeah, what did you say?
The Stormzy's a rapper.
It's what?
A rapper.
Who is?
Stormzy, in case you don't know who he is.
I know Stormzy is. What about? What are you trying to tell me about it?
And...
In thing. Go on.
You've probably thought about this in... everyone's thought about it, but your film, you might actually get made. But who would play Phil Caseley in a movie of his life? We need someone who can portray a lot of emotions.
Oh, gotta be Arnold Schwarzenegger, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure you could pull that one off. He's gonna have to go back in time. I would be happy.
17-year-old Arnie with straight GHDs.
Yeah, can you imagine? If we could get Ryan Reynolds playing it, I would be happy because he's great and he's funny.
Yeah, good show. Yeah, he's funny. I watched the actual new Deadpool the other night. It's good.
Do you know what? I'm waiting for that to come on the box. Well, I know I can't say that. I mean, I'm going to go to the cinema.
I watched it on my box.
I think it's on mine as well. I've just been watching the Olympics, but I might watch it tonight.
Dan knows.
Great. Yeah. So, Ryan Reynolds, happy days. Phil, thank you so much for giving us your time. What a trip. And we'll tag, obviously, all your Instagram and everything. And have you got room for people at the moment?
Yeah, the right people. So, driven guys.
What's the right people then? Is it like an interview process or
essentially
a consultation call, is it?
Yeah, what we're looking for really is just guys that really want to get after it. They want to become great all-round athletes, stronger, fitter, leaner, faster, in great shape, smash PBs, do events. That's what we're looking for. If they're interested, they drop me a message on Instagram. We have a little chat just to see if we're aligned in our ways of thinking. And from there, if we want to take it further, normally just jump on a call or just chat over the DMs. And yeah, if we kind of fit each other, we like each other, because there's a no dickheads policy.
Yeah, I think that's really
likewise, they might think I'm a dick, so we've got to get on. If we do, then we'll always make space for people like that.
Yeah, we've got that's the same as the podcast, and then we'll suss people out on socials and stuff like that before.
I'm on it.
Yeah, you're lucky. Well, we thought you were lucky, but it turns out you're a dickhead.
Wow. I was going to say, because a lot of people do think I'm a dickhead.
Nah, I've enjoyed. It's been a pleasure. Nick, any other questions?
No, that was brilliant. Again, thanks, Phil, for your time. Appreciate that. It was a great story. It was a bit different. I didn't expect. Obviously, I knew about what you've gone through, but hopefully keep up the recovery and things keep going well, Phil.
Appreciate it. It's been great to chat to you both, and Good to catch up again, Gav.
Cardiff office here?
Say that again, sorry?
Cardiff office here?
I was going to do it, right? But it looks like I might be moving to Portugal.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
that's where we're recording on a Monday. All the best tomorrow. Fingers crossed you get everything you want.
So I can do my visa application tomorrow. But yeah, it looks like we're going to try and set up a second base in Portugal. And then the idea is we'll work between there and here. And we're going to try and, again, I suppose it's an exclusive here. We're going to try and set some retreats and fitness events up for
nice.
2024, which would be really good.
My God.
So, yeah, lots to hopefully look forward to.
Yeah,
got to get through all the red tape. So that's why I can't run a Cardiff half. Otherwise I would be. Are you doing it?
I am. Nicky's got his first Welsh vest.
Oh, well done.
Indeed. Welsh Masters Marathon in Chester. So, yeah, I'm up there.
Impressive. What kind of time are you going for?
I don't know. Apparently it's quite a tough hilly course. So 2 hours 50 I've got in my head at the minute.
Fair play.
250, 255 I'll be aiming for, hopefully.
It's ridiculous on a hilly course.
Yeah, we'll see.
Right. Just make sure you have jelly babies, right?
Yeah.
Mate, even in those times without jelly babies, they're going to literally be like NOS canisters for you.
Yeah.
Right, Nick, do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, that's it again for another week for us. Thanks to Phil, and hopefully catch some of you at Tonopandi Wednesday. Obviously, this will be full episode before that, but I'll get this out now. So get yourselves along to Tonopandi, and we'll see you on the start line somewhere soon.
So long.